Hi, I just finished chapter 7 in John Maxwell's Developing the Leaders Around You. Really great book. Definitely recommend it. And I just wanted to share some of my takeaways and some of the highlights that John Maxwell hits in this chapter. So let's jump in. Chapter 7 is called Forming a Dream Team of Leaders. And right from the beginning, he starts off with talking about what is a team. A team isn't just any group of people, right? Because you're in a group of people when you're standing in the checkout line at Walmart, but that doesn't make you a team. Or you're in a group of people standing at a bus stop or whatever, and that doesn't make you a team. So what makes a team? Well, a team is a group of people with a common goal, a group of people that cooperate, and a group of people that communicate. So all three of those things together is what defines a team. And then there are certain qualities that Maxwell lists that you want to both look for and that you want to cultivate within your dream team. So there are 10 qualities, and I'm going to run through these real quick and share a couple of thoughts of mine along the way. Number 1 is that team members on a dream team care for one another. Teams that don't bond can't build. Teams that don't bond can't build. I like that. I think it's really succinct, but it makes so much sense, and there's so much packed in there. But the reason they can't build is because they never became a cohesive unit. So number 1 is that team members care for one another. That's ideal, and that's something to cultivate, is care and time. Care happens, building relationships and showing care for people happens by getting together with them and building relationships. So get together outside of Plexus, invest in their lives. Not just the stuff that is related directly to Plexus, but other things too. Number 2, the team members know what's important. We've got to make sure that each team member knows what's important to the team. Maxwell gives a basketball analogy here, as he does several times, and he talks about if you've got a basketball player that's got some really crazy mad ball handling skills, right? He's got the figure 8 going, the spider thing, he dribbles really well, and all kinds of other ball handling skills. So that's really great, and he may draw in a big crowd, and he may provide a lot of entertainment. But if that player, the mad ball handler, never takes a shot, never makes a shot, never passes the ball to someone who makes a shot or takes a shot, then he does not benefit the team at all. He's not doing anything. The goal of the basketball game is to get the most points, right? And you get points by putting the ball in the basket. So if you're not taking shots, you're not making shots, you're not passing the ball to someone who can do those things, you're not benefiting the team. All he's doing is showing off his basketball or his ball handling skills. But that's not what's important about the game. So yes, dribbling is important as far as it's a valued skill that moves the ball down the court and gets you to the basket and sets you up for scoring points. But dribbling the ball itself will never win a basketball game. Number 3, the team members communicate with one another. This is huge. Communication is big in every area of life, and why would it be any different in building your business and building your dream team? Communication is vital to a team, and it needs to be not just that you're communicating, but you're communicating intentionally. You're communicating positively, and your communication should be in such a way that you build safety for your team, that your team knows, hey, if I don't have it all down, or I'm struggling, or I have questions about this area or whatever, then that doesn't make me an idiot. I can say those things. I can come to you and it's safe, and I'm not going to be ridiculed, but I can, communication's a two-way street, and that communication needs to stay positive, and it needs to build that safety and that trust together. Number 4, the team members grow together. That goes right back to what I just said about safety and trust too being built through communication. So growth within the team is important and necessary, and it's the team leader's responsibility. Did you hear that, leaders? It's your responsibility to orchestrate the team's growth. Now, that doesn't mean that you can grow for the team. You grow on your own, right? And you provide opportunities for your team to grow, and you set the example by growing, but you can't grow for people. All you can do is provide the opportunities, set the example, and set them up for success, set them up for growth. But they have to choose to grow, and you want people on your team that want to grow. Number 5, there's a team fit. So when I think about fit, I think about shoes, right? And there are some brands of shoes that fit better than other shoes, right? I know the brands that fit me. They may not be the brands that fit you, but it's important that on your dream team, you've got the right fit. You've got the right people in your dream team, and that there's an attitude of partnership, because that contributes so much to the cohesion and the fit of your team. And so it's important to find those people and then to cultivate that attitude of partnership and that attitude of cooperation together. So there's a team fit. Number 6, the dream team. The dream team members place their individual rights beneath the best interest of the team. I'm going to say that again. I think this one's hard. The team members place their individual rights beneath the best interest of the team. So flip-flop that. They put the best interest of the team above their individual interests. This one is huge. It's huge. And it's so counterintuitive to our flesh and definitely counterintuitive to our culture, right? We live in a me-based, give me society where entitlement is like our main theme. But this principle really comes down to 2 things, and it's so important. The 2 things: getting over yourself and serving others, right? You're not going to put the team above yourself if you're so self-absorbed and self-consumed. So get over yourself, put someone else before you, think about how you can serve others. And again, this is another principle that's going to be developed best in your team by you setting the example as the team leader, you showing this is what it looks like to care about the team a little bit more than I care about myself, right? And that starts with caring about the individuals more than you care about yourself in some instances. And so, again, tough to implement. Really simple concept, not always so simple to adopt and live out. But moving on, number 7, each team member plays a special role. So we all are unique. We all have our own gifts and abilities, and it's important for us as team leaders to help our team members identify what their special gifts and abilities are. And then not only that, but we need to build and develop roles within our team based around our team members' strengths. Okay, so for example, if you have someone that loves editing videos, right? That's not me. I'm not good at that stuff at all. But I could definitely benefit from someone who can do that stuff, right? So maybe I get out of my comfort zone and I start making some more videos, and I contact this person and I'm like, hey, could you help me make my videos look cooler, right? Add in some transitions, add some like graphic stuff over in this region, and that's not something that necessarily like you had to have, but you created a role for them, like to use their gifts and their strengths, and that makes them feel important. And whenever people feel important, they're definitely more passionate, they're more engaged, they're more likely to grow and to demonstrate and all these other qualities that we're talking about too. So go out of your way to build and develop roles that highlight your team members' strengths. That's so huge, and I think that's such a cool concept. Number 8, just a couple more principles here. Number 8, an effective team has a good bench. So in a basketball game, right, you've got your bench. If you just played your starters the whole game, chances are that they may not last the whole game. First of all, they may get tired, right? They could get injured. They could foul out. If you don't have a bench as backup, then you're kind of sunk. And how are you going to win the game if your starters, can't carry the whole game, whatever, that kind of thing. So Maxwell says that there's three purposes for the bench. And first of all, it gives the depth and versatility to the team, which is what I was just hitting on as far as switching people out. It sets the tone for the team and for their level of play. If you're out on the court and your team members on the bench are like booing and hissing, or they're on their phones, or they're like just not engaged and not into the game, that's going to affect how you play, and that's going to affect the tone on the court. Versus if your team members are like cheering you on and like, just showing you encouragement and support, then that's also going to change the tone out on the court. And then lastly, a good bench provides a place for a weary player to rest. We all get weary and we all need a place to rest, and that's so important to be able to have that. It goes back to safety and trust that we talked about before within your team. We need to provide that place that we can recharge and we can pump each other up and amp each other up and say, hey, we got this, let's dig back in. Number 9, the team members know exactly where the team stands. So this comes down to an organizational sense, which means that we know what's happening within the organization, how the organization stands in reference to its goals, its competitors, how the different players are doing, and that sort of thing. And this isn't always natural. Not everyone has this sense, this gift, so that's okay. But then it comes back to our communication as leaders. We need to help instill that organizational sense through our communication, through highlighting information about our organization, and just continuing to inundate our team members with that information. And hopefully that'll help them to catch some of that sense, even if it's not innate or intuitive. And then lastly, number 10, the team members are willing to pay the price. Ultimately, success comes down to sacrifice, which is the willingness to pay the price. Each team member must be willing to sacrifice time and energy to practice and prepare in a basketball game, and in the business, it's no different. We each must be willing to give up part of ourselves for the team's success. Again, so counterintuitive, right? But this is another one of those qualities that is going to be best cultivated within our team when we're setting the example. So we're willing to sacrifice, our TV shows for a few months, or we're willing to sacrifice that extra hour of sleep every night, or whatever the situation may be for you. We've got to set the example. We've got to set the tone through our sacrifice. Not because we're not sacrificing for no reason. We're sacrificing for the common good and for our success as a team overall. Last closing thought, I want to end with this quote from Maxwell. I think it's so good. Without each person's conviction that the cause is worth the price, the battle will never be won and the team will not succeed. There must be commitment. So it comes down, really, our success comes down to each individual's conviction about the cause. And if there is someone on our team that doesn't have that conviction that the cause is worth the price, that's going to affect the whole team. So we want to be building a team that sets the standard that, hey, this is worth it, and we are willing to pay the price, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to build up each other and edify and encourage each other along the way. We're committed to that, and we're going to succeed and grow together. So hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that you've read chapter 7, or if you haven't, that you'll check it out, and maybe share your comment or share your takeaways, your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.